we've talked about this a lot this year, but what a good way to go out, though, is the big thing. Everybody, we want to be in Katy next week. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen, but to go out there and play, you talked about it, it's about us. And you started it on Wednesday night with a big win against McNeese. Today, you come into a place, a hostile environment, and you get out to a good start, and you fight a little resiliency in the end right there, and you come away with a win over Nicholls State.
Well, I thought about several headlines as I was walking out here for our fans and supporters. What should the headline read? Just 1 week, because it was literally this last week where 2 heartbreaking losses keep us out of Katy. If we could have pulled this off this week with the 2 wins last week, 2 1-point losses, we're going to Katy. It's not to be. I thought the other headline could be lost by a toe. Instead of lost by a nose, lost by a toe. We, what might have been, and we peaked a little too late. We finally have a nice rhythm. Elgin Bailey looks comfortable in his skin for the first time since he's been here. We are running stuff. We're efficient running stuff. I know you sat over there like you've done for 7 years now, watching me call out plays. And everything we kind of went through him, he was extremely focused, and he did a great job. Roosevelt did a pretty good job, and then Todd Nelson gave us the outside scoring touch. All these pieces that we've been worried about and unsure of themselves when they played, and all of a sudden we're a very good defensive team. We were pretty good all year. We've become one of the best in the league, I think. Granted, Lamar and UTA are a different animal, but against anybody else, we're awfully good. And now all of a sudden, we can score points. We actually manage the game and the clock exactly like we wanted. And I could say a lot of things that were negative, but I don't know that would be appropriate. I am upbeat about next year. I am upbeat about the fact that we've got a Player of the Year candidate. I am upbeat that I've got 6 or 7 guys coming back for sure that have a great feel for what we do. We're still, I still see opportunities in these 40 minutes if our vision was a little better, but we can still be improving it. And, at this time of year, I see us, we're one of the few teams in the league that looks healthy, that looks like it's got energy, that is still improving and getting better. You look at McNeese, they're really wound, they're beat up, they're ground down to a pulp. They're going to have a hard time going into that conference tournament, jacking themselves back up. So, I shake my head because it was just a game of inches this year. Literally, the difference between us and a 500 year without Brandon and a year where we're back in Katy for the 9th straight year, it was just so close. But I appreciate, Matt, so many people for this year. I appreciate the seniors. I won't say what we talked about in the locker room. That's for us, but. I just basically I did say thank you for letting us continue to coach you, as a group, because it was about them. They could have quit on us. They could have said, oh, this isn't working. Oh, this is, I don't know, and then not feel comfortable. But they stayed with it. They listened to the message per game, per day, per week. And we fought through the very end. And I know Steve Rodriguez said to me last game, I've never seen a Southeastern team in this time of the year where they were in this kind of having a tough year ever play as hard, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate, our administration, Dr. Crane and Bart Belair's have been wonderful, very supportive. I think they know how much we care, how much we want to build this program, how much we want to, we're very proud of what we do, and we throw a lot of ourselves into it, and I think people can feel good about it. But we've got some great fans. The front row of Gail Neal and Judge Jimmy Kuhn and Ronnie Crimmins and some of the newcomers they brought like Dickie Whitson this year. And the whole thing is just wonderful. And we've got some wonderful people like Cricket Ayala. And this Cricket, what a lovely person and great friend she is. If we had 500 more of her, we'd be one of the best Division ones in the country. And, Andre Kudrains had a number of games. Just so many people that like us, support us, and support us in such a great way. I thank them for their support and a tough year where it's been kind of a roller coaster at times. And, thanks to you and David for the long rides and taking time out from your family and supporting us. We're very appreciative of that. We like to respond to that appreciation by trying to win. We'll try to put together a formula, and hopefully it'll be a healthy formula next year that comes back out on the court and makes our fans even prouder than I hope they are right now.
Well, one of the things that we'll keep up with the positives here. You end the season 2 straight wins. You go 6-3 against in-state competition, and that's something to build on for next year as well.
Well, we didn't get swept by anybody in conference, in a year where I think at one point everybody's like, well, Southeastern's really just having that tough year. Sometimes it happens. We did, McNeese, Northwestern State, and Nicholls on the road. We split with these guys, and again, we're getting better. We beat Louisiana Tech. We beat Louisiana Monroe. We beat Southern University, and so we won 4 of those 6 games without Brandon. So there's a lot to be glad about over the year. We had a winning record against our non-conference opponents. We played well at Arkansas. We played well at Texas Tech. I rewatched the Texas Tech game about 3 or 4 nights ago. Darren Populus was a few free throws and a jump shot away from being Player of the Week. He really by himself in the first half really gave us a chance, but we just didn't have enough magic for enough minutes night after night. We got knocked on our rear ends at the beginning of conference play. It took us several weeks to finally get a little bit of stability, a little bit of rhythm, and then we had a couple of tough losses, and the pressure kept mounting. But I think we did a great job of creating a stable environment, not creating drama. Our kids are pretty good kids, and I just want them to continue to be good men and become student athletes. Now students in the spring. We'll have a plan and a formula. We're only 214 days away from our first exhibition next year. Not that I'm counting or anything like that, but we'll start unfolding the next phase smartly, surely. Keep recruiting. Like where that, ironically, I think we've had great energy. My staff is working very hard, and we've got a great commitment in signing of Avery Woodson, who's playing for a state championship today in Mississippi. He's in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. He's the next Brandon Fortenberry. He's Brandon Fortenberry 2.0. He's a 2-guard, not a point guard, but we've got him, and we've got a verbal commitment, and we've got some other kids who are very interested. We just have to finish the deal there. We'll work hard at building a team that can get on the floor every night and give us what we want and some success. And I just want to make sure these guys continue to grow as people, as players, as students. And we've got the rest of the semester and the summertime to do it.
One last question, and we'll let you go. But you talked about, of course, Avery Woodson coming in next year, and you kind of talked about it a little bit earlier on. But the guys you've got coming back, and really, you talk about a Player of the Year candidate, Brandon Fortenberry. You've got an inside guy in Roe Johnson, but some of those other guys, Todd Nelson, Jeremy Campbell, Antonio Benton, who really the last week of the season has grown up.
He's really done a great job. He had a great game at UCA last Saturday.
And you've got those guys, Jan Petrovic, a guy down low. So you have a lot of firepower coming back next year. Defensively, as you said, all year long it played sound defense, 3-point defense, one of the best in the country. Today you showed it again, holding Nicholls to 18%. And that's really where the games are won. You win it with defense right there. You hold the team in Nicholls to 35% shooting on their own floor. That says a lot right there. And really now you've got those guys coming back with a year into the system.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if we had to start the year right now, you've got Brandon, Todd, Jeremy, Antonio, and Roe that you could throw out on the floor, and you've got Jan and Pop coming off the bench. You've got 7 now. You can't get too excited. We won 12 total games this year. But I think with Brandon's firepower, and we'll lose a little. Deshaun was a crafty guy out there and created some chaos. I'm going to have somebody else step into that role next year. But hopefully we can do that. We can find that defense. And we've got some nice parts. We've just got to continue to find good inside presence. I feel like as hard as we've worked, we've missed on a couple of big guys. Elgin's now getting it, but he was a 1-year guy. Patrick Sullivan was with us for 4 years. David Puma for 4 years. And Josh Lockett didn't work out. He transferred, and he just didn't get very many minutes. He just wasn't able to impact the game. And now Elgin's gone very quickly. We need to continue to get guys with size who can affect the game, but also guard depth so that next year if there's an injury to somebody, hopefully not Brandon, we've got a chance to fill in and not miss a beat. But you've got to have good people right now. There are a lot of teams. I'm watching a lot of these tournament games. I'll be watching more. If you don't have your best player at this time of the year, it's awfully tough. But we wish everybody luck in Katy. Hopefully we'll get a good representative. I think UTA will do a great job in representing us. I think they'll win it all. Scott Crossan his last year has done a wonderful job at UTA. I think they've got a chance to win again in the game in the NCAA tournament. But, we're going to work on us. As I said before, there are many people I didn't thank. And if I didn't, I'm sorry about that, but I appreciate you very much. Probably the number one person to thank after all this long years, my wife. Glenda, I love her very much. She's 19 years. We've been together 16 years in April. Saturday after the Final Four, we'll have our 16th wedding anniversary. My kids are great. They don't miss a game. And, I'm very, very blessed to have a lot of great things going for me. Our program has some great support, and we just want to continue to build, get this thing back again, and give ourselves a chance. I'm bittersweet. I love the fact that, gosh, we are playing pretty good here at the end, but it's done and it's over, and it's a shame. But it's been a great growth year for me as a coach. I hope I can take some of the things I've seen and gone through this year and make it better for next year's blueprint as we get to work here. And let's go get J.R. Teagues and Pete Langlaw, and let's get them a championship. Let's support these guys in the spring, and we'll see you all next year.
Coach Jim Yarbrough here on the Bud Light Postgame Show here at Stouffer Gym. We're going to go ahead. We'll wrap it up here.